What's up, guys? This is Vox again with another episode. Today is going to be about powering up. So let's start with how leveling works in the game. Basically, every item that you have, frames, weapons, companions, they all start off unranked. And you can rank them up to level 30 by doing normal things, playing mission, killing enemies, get XP. Also called affinity in this game. So the first time you reach a level with an item, it gives you mastery XP, and that's basically your overall account level. So every unique item in the game will give you mastery the first time that you rank it up. So if you level a frame, companion, or an arcwing frame all the way to 30, it'll give you 6,000 mastery XP. Weapons will give you 3,000. You can only earn the mastery once, though. So if you forma the item, reset it back to 0, or if you sell it, you make a new one, you won't get more mastery out of leveling it up again. You only get it the first time, once per unique item. So also keep in mind, if you're going to trash something, you think it's terrible and you don't want it anymore, level it all the way to 30 before you sell it or get rid of it, because if you don't, the only way to get that remaining mastery is to reacquire the item, level it back up to where you were, and then finish off. So that can be kind of a pain. So just trudge through and level up crap gear to 30, and then feel free to do whatever you like with it. Yeah, so each level on an item will give you mod capacity, so we'll check that out. So you have your capacity up here. Every time you equip mods, it'll drain from your capacity, but they increase your stats: damage, multi-shot, elementals, lots of different things you can do here. If you have a reactor or a catalyst, or as people call them, potatoes, installed, that doubles your mod capacity. So on weapons and companion weapons, you use catalysts, so they cost 20 platinum in the store. Sometimes you get them from alerts and things like that, and if you install them, they're one-time use. You put it into the item, it fuses in, and then you get 60 mod capacity total instead of 30. It gives you a lot more room to work with. On frames, you have the same thing, but you have reactors, and they also cost 20, and same deal. You use the reactors also on pets, on companions, and things like that, and arcwing frames. So look at how you mod things. Basically, everything has slots that you can put the mods into. Warframes and no, arcwing frames don't have it. Just Warframes have aura slots. So the way that works is when you put an aura mod in here, instead of draining capacity, it adds capacity. So you can see this one has 14, so instead of 60, it has 74 total capacity. They also give you a effect that will affect the whole team, or at least the whole team in your range. So by having this on, everybody in my range, including me, gets 0.6 energy per second regen. So there's a ton of these. You can pick damage ones or healing, or whatever utility you want. Yeah, so that'll give you extra mod capacity. And you also have exilus slots here. So certain mods with this little marker here up top, you can kind of see this mark here, are exilus mods, and they are usually utility type things, movement or things like that. And if they're marked as exilus, you can put them in this special slot, and that'll free up a slot in your build for a more important mod. So those you have to actually unlock, kind of like installing a catalyst or a reactor. You have to use a exilus adapter, or tomatoes, some people call them. Doesn't show it here, but if you click on the slot and you have one, I think they also cost 20. Then it'll let you unlock the slot, and there you go. You can have an exilus mod, and you basically have a spare mod on your frame, or spare mod slot. Or if you didn't have one of these before because you didn't think it was worth giving up a slot, now you have a little extra space to put some utility on, so that's kind of cool. Those will also drain your capacity. They don't increase it like the ores do. So melee weapons kind of have a similar thing. They have stance slots, so these work kind of like auras do on Warframes, where it increases your capacity. So you have 10 here, it goes up from 60 to 70, and they also will unlock special combos that you can do with your melee attacks. So depending on the stance that you install, you can have different combos that you can have access to. So aside from giving you capacity, they also have different move sets and things like that. Regular weapons don't have those, just the melee weapons. So you can equip mods in any slot here, as long as it's allowed in that slot. But if you place them in a slot that has a matching symbol, let me get a different item that isn't modded. So, if you were to place a mod in just a blank slot, this capacity up in the top corner, that's how much it'll drain from your overall capacity. If you were to match it with the polarity, so you can see that has a V, that has a V, it'll cut the cost in half, rounded up. So if it were 15, it would be 8 cost, and as you can see right there. So if you match it, it'll only drain half the capacity. So that's useful when you're trying to fit a bunch of these high power mods on. You'll run out of space really quick. So if you polarize or forma the slots, change that polarity to match, then it drains half. If you put it in in a mismatched one, it'll drain, I think it's like 25% more or something, from what, 14 to 18, something like that. It doesn't do double, but it does give you a penalty, so just keep that in mind. So you will want to match those up as much as you can. That'll let you get more stuff onto your gear and power it up more. So the way that you change the capacity, or sorry, that you change the polarity of those so you drain less capacity, is you go into actions and you go into polarization. People call it polarizing, forming, whatever. To do it, your weapon has to be level 30, or whatever piece of gear you're doing it on. And you have to have a forma. They cost, I think, 20 platinum as well, but you can get them from drop tables and things like that. And then it lets you pick whatever slot you want. You can change a blank slot to any symbol, or you can change one with a symbol to any symbol, or you can change it back to blank. Anything you want to make it work the way you want to. Once you do that, it will set the rank back down to unranked, and you'll have to re-rank it up back to 30. But also keep in mind, if you do that, you don't get a second set of mastery XP from it. The only reason you would do that is if you want to power up that particular piece of gear and allow you to put more powerful mods on it, basically. Yeah, so you'll want to have at least a few pieces of gear, probably, and a frame or two at the minimum that you do this to, so that you have some really powerful stuff. You know, when you start doing harder content, you start doing endgame stuff. It's really helpful compared to just a straight unformed piece of gear that you put whatever you can fit and then just kind of go with it. Let me switch back here so I don't lose my weapon. think it was... Can't remember which weapon I had. Whatever. It's all good. I'll just pick one. Okay, so now we'll talk about mods. So, the things that you are equipping into all these slots. This is your mod collection. So they have different rarities. So, bronze are commons, and each increasing rarity costs more to rank up. You have silver for uncommons, golds are rares, and you have where is one? Legendary or primed mods are platinums. Okay, we're just gonna do this. There you go. So the platinum ones are legendary or primed versions of the mods. And these guys are called ribbons. We'll get into this in a later video, but this is like an endgame type of thing. They basically combine multiple stats into one mod. So, really powerful stuff if you get good ones. We'll go over that in a different video. So they have levels, as you can see by the notches on the bottom. This one has 5 levels. You can see they're unranked. So what you can do is you click on them, and you go to Fusion, and you'll use Endo, which you have right here, and you'll pay the credit cost to rank up the mod. What it does is each level will increase the drain, so it goes from 4 to 5 to 6, but it also increases the stats. 225 damage, 23%, 300 damage, 30%. So as you level it up, the stats get a lot better. Kind of what you want. You want to power everything up. So Endo will drop from enemies that you kill sometimes. You can also get it from rewards. You can get it from alerts and things like that. And what you can also do is, as you can see, I have a ranked up version of this mod, Ammo Drum, and then I have 210 extra ones. So what you can do is click on them, however many you want. I'll just do all of them. You can click multiples, and what you can do is go to dissolve, and this will permanently dissolve the mod. So don't do this to anything that you want to keep, but as you can see, I'll get 1050 endo from dissolving these mods. So hit yes. Are you sure this is how many mods? That's how much you'll get. It doesn't cost you credits, and all your extras go away, and you get more endo, which you can then dump into mods that you want to rank up. That's the main way that I rank up my mods, is just dissolving the extra ones. Keep in mind, if there's any rare ones you have, things that were from events that don't drop anymore, things like that, like this. If I have extras of these, I'll probably keep them in case friends need them, or by chance I want to sell them for platinum if I want to trade them. So there might be some that you don't want to dissolve, you want to keep a hold of extra copies of, but generally you can dissolve your extras. So the more levels it has, the more cost it'll equip, as we it'll take to equip, as we saw. So that's where polarizing your slots comes in. The more you rank up your mods, especially if they're 10 ranks, like this one, it can get up to 14. It's pretty high cost, so you're going to probably want to put a V slot onto whatever weapon you're using this on, so that way it only costs 7. Excuse my voice. So the end goal is usually to max out mods. There are a few that you might not want to max out. There are some that we'll get into in another video that are called corrupted mods. Especially this one in particular. Some people like to keep versions of this that are 1 or 2 away from being maxed, because along with the positive they also have a negative. So it gives you efficiency, but it also takes away from your duration. And there's an efficiency cap of 75%. So if you use the other efficiency mod, which is Streamline, you get 30%, I believe, efficiency. 30 plus 60 is 90, which is over the cap and overkill. So some people will have a version of this that's lower ranked so that you hit the 75%, but you don't needlessly give up duration for not getting any benefit. But that's a very rare case. Usually you'll want to max out every mod that you can. But there are a ton of mods, as you can see. They just go on forever. So it will take you a very long time, so what I suggest is to be choosy with the mods that you level. Do your staples first. Things like your health, shields, power mods, straight damage, things like that, elementals, things that are really useful, that you get the most benefit out of. There's different types of mods, so you have mods that are specific for Warframes. Then you have weapon mods. You know, they're separated by primary weapons, secondaries, melee. Some are specific to, you know, specific weapons, things like that. You have companion mods for you have Sentinel mods, and you have your actual dog and cat companion mods. Arcwing, frame, and weapon mods. They kind of have different categories. You have the exilus mods that we talked about. Seeing your stances, your auras. And then you also have these augment mods, which you equip to a Warframe, specific Warframe, and it changes how the ability works. So these are sold by syndicates, which are another thing that we'll cover. But yeah, some of these are really useful. Some of them are utility, some of them are crap. But you know, you can kind of change the way a power works and make the frame a little bit different, and it's kind of cool. You can do different builds and play the frames differently depending on how you mod the abilities, kind of, I guess you could say. So I'm sure you'll want to get some of those at some point, but we'll go over that when we go over syndicates. And then the last thing we'll talk about is transmutation. So I don't usually do this, but if you're a new player, it could be pretty useful. You can select a mod. You can select 4 different ones, or you can select 4 of the same, whatever you want. And you can go to transmute. So you pay credits. So this can be a little pricey if you're a new player. But what this will do is combine your 4 mods into one new mod. And the mod that you get is totally random. There are certain mods that are, you know, special, and they're only obtainable certain ways. You won't get them from this. No chance. But if you're a new player and you have a bunch of extras because you've been on the same planet for a long time, then there's a lot of mods that you don't have that you have a chance of getting, so it might be worth, you know, doing this. But I don't generally do it because I have most of the mods and it's super random, so you're not guaranteed if you use 4 rares to get a rare. The only thing that you are guaranteed, I think, if it still works the same way, is if you use 4 mods of the same polarity, then you're guaranteed that the new mod will match that polarity, but it's still random within that set of mods. So let's try it out. Let's see what we get. Hey, there you go. So there's a new mod. Same polarity, but we could have gotten a rare. You never know. It's RNG, so do with that what you will. I would suggest dissolving your duplicates and getting the endo out of them, because that's going to be more useful in the long run, in my eyes. Plenty of people will help you farm for mods that you need, so yeah, that's all about powering up, modding, polarizing. Yeah, if there's anything I forgot, leave it in the comments below. If there's anything else that you want to see covered, leave that in the comments below, and see you guys in the next video. Thanks for checking it out. Bye.